Hey, today I want to explain the mesh to actor swap system based on what Scala is gaming, and I think it's called you're called FAUS or FAUS gave me. They gave me some files and they say, hey, I think this could be very beneficial for the Hyper project. However, I went a bit out of my way and adapted it fully and basically made a couple of new systems. So I was thinking, first let me show you what it does real quick, and after that I will show you the details. So now currently I have a server and I have a client. And as you can see right here, we also have that sphere. And that sphere you're seeing, it's not visible at the client because the server is checking for the overlaps. And when the server is overlapping right here, the server is swapping all these meshes to actors, right? And for the trees, we want to do that on hit. So now I can just cut this tree down here on the client, and you see on the server the same thing is happening. We destroy that actor and we are respawning it. So a couple of main things. We are trying to re-swap things back. What I saw that you guys did was you were trying from the mesh to actor swapper to re-swap things back. However, I think that is not a good approach. I think every instance in the world should determine themselves when to swap back and how and when. So let me go near this fiber. Oh, by the way, it's a fiber and a stick always on the same place, so don't be confused. Here, see, it shows pickup fiber, but if I don't do anything, now it is swapped back to an instant static mesh into that PCG volume. However, when I move again, then it is going to swap it back to that actor. And let me show you with this one. And now this one. So now you will see that the left one, that small white dot, that one will be first gone. And after that, the right one was gone. So you see every actor is handling their own respawn logic, but also inactivity logic. These are two different things. So you saw the speed, you saw the tree respawning. That was within 2 seconds, and the inactivity timer is on 6 seconds. And basically, the inactivity timer is for cleaning everything up again. Oh, so let me show you other examples like that, which worked really nicely, and obviously mineable rocks. I'm hitting the stone, I think, yeah. And this one will respawn, yeah. And we just have normal static meshes swapping. Okay. So I think you get the idea, and this is working really well. And this is really performant, and everything is swapping really, really, really quickly and very seamlessly. So let's dive into the code. Okay, so I have two folders right here: mesh to actor swap system. One in the core folder and one in the main folder. The core folder is for all the data models, the function libraries, structures, interfaces, things like that. I think the only thing that is needed to show right here is this one. And basically, I am able to remove swap on hit, and I'm able to remove swap on overlap radius. These things really don't matter at all. I don't need that information here. The only information that I want is which mesh, which should be a soft reference because we don't want to load in the mesh, which actor reference. And this actor is also a soft reference because we don't want to load in the whole actor. And this one is very interesting. I call this an optional link name. And basically, what I'm doing this for is we have the DT items, which can have hundreds, even thousands of items, right? And if we want to have every item as a pickup item to be able to be swapped out, I don't want to go into this data table and select all these hundreds of items. Actually, we know that every DT item is always using a pickup master. And so basically what I'm doing, I'm only linking the row name of which DT item could have been spawned. And I'm basically just spawning the pickup master, just getting the row data from the DT items and spawn it into it. So then we can spawn every DT items without ever configuring it here in this DT hittable pickups. This DT hittable pickup should only be used for things that are not in the DT items. Okay, so basically with this structure, these two can be removed. And we have a hittable pickup things, and these should contain things that are never in the DT items. Next up is my mesh to actor swapper abstract. And this only contains some very basic info. Here it is. This is try to swap mesh to actor. It executes on server. It has which static mesh component, which hit index, and swapping via hit. So basically this is being used on the melee animation to say, hey, I'm swapping this via hit, and therefore we don't need to have this swap on hit variable anymore in this struct. This is a class setting which is set to generate abstract class, and the class default is set to component replicates. Nice. All right, so then some macro libraries just to get that abstract component real easily from an owner of an actor, from a player controller, and from a component. Just like that. I don't think I am using this function library anymore. I think I'm able to delete this. Let me check. I think I should remove this, but I will do that in a later stage. Yeah, I'm quite sure of it. Just like I don't use any interface anymore. No, that's not needed. Okay, so let's go into the actual component. Nice. This, it's really easy. Well, it's not easy. What I mean is, it is simple. I made it as clean as possible. It was actually a lot of work and very complex thoughts, and actually revamped a lot of the systems like pickup masters and things like that. But because we are not going to re-swap back from this component. So that is a core idea to remember, okay? So this is the event for when we hit something with melee or whatever, or an ability, it doesn't matter. And on begin play, only on the server, on authority. First of all, I'm going to say, okay, store all swappable meshes to actors. So getting hittable pickups, getting each row name, and I'm getting the mesh. And what I'm doing is I'm getting the path string and then converting that to a name, and I'm mapping that with that structure. Why? Because finding names, mapping names is really, really easy, way quicker. I think it's even the quickest of all. So if you want to find anything in this map, then we just need to find something on the name. And that is crucial. So don't find a static mesh, find a name. And the name that I use is the path string. Besides that, I want every DT item. I want to get it, loop over every item, get all the generic attributes, the mesh, again, the path string, and add that into that same map. And for each swappable mesh structure, I'm just setting, okay, which actor to use. Well, that's the pick master. And the optional link name is the actual row name of the DT item. So we can always inject that row name variable into that pickup master, and therefore we can get every item really easily. And we are storing this information on begin play, so we only have this once, and that's just fine as it is. Then I want to create an overlap sphere, and that overlap sphere is just adding a sphere on the character. I'm setting that reference, I'm setting some collision settings, specifically the object type mesh to actor swap is what I set in the project settings, and say overlap on mesh to actor swap. I'm not setting it hidden because I wanted to see it for debugging reasons. That sphere needs to generate overlap events. Character cannot step up upon it, and the sphere radius is just a variable that we set right here. So that was the overlap sphere initialization. Oh yeah, and then we bind, is anything overlapping on it, then we are going to do something. And at last, on begin play, I'm going to say, hey, set the sphere radius to 0. After that, set it to the value that we want. And therefore the sphere collapses and then expands again. And then actually it generates that overlap event also on begin play, because otherwise you would spawn within radius and then things simply won't work. And that is something that you don't want. Okay. So now let's go to this function on overlap. Check if it's static mesh component. Get that hit index. That is for the instance static mesh index. And then we have one function, try swap mesh to actor. First of all, I'm going to check, is the mesh component width already from a swap actor? And the only thing that we're going to do is, does it have the tag swapped on it? Because I'm going to set the tag swapped on any actor that we spawn from this system. If it doesn't have that tag, then isn't even findable. So we are going to get it static mesh, get the soft object path, going to find that name and see if we are going to, if it's included, yes or no. Well, if it is, then we have that structure. This structure also includes the actor to spawn, things like that. And then something crucial, is it an instance static mesh component? Instance static mesh component is probably PCG, otherwise not. If it is, perform swap mesh to actor, and that is get the instance transform, saving that transform here, because we're going to reuse that when we spawn that actor. Then I'm going to set this in a variable instance static mesh to remove. It's not needed, but I wanted to do because I was trying to get this via a rep notify, but that's caused some desyncing issues. So for the time being, I'm just multicasting this information as long as it's valid instance, and removing it from that instance static mesh component. That was the print statement that I saw. And I'm multicasting it for now, which is okay, but not for an MMO. Then we need to use make this a rep notify, make a queuing system or whatever. Then we're going to spawn an actor, because now we removed that instance from that instance static mesh component. And spawning it is basically If it is a pickup master, then we're going to spawn a pickup item. If it wasn't, just spawn a generic actor. The pickup item is spawn actor from class pickup item, which should include the inventory item as an exposed on spawn. And as you can see, what I'm just doing, getting that optional link name, get that row name, make that inventory item, and put it here in that inventory item. After that, I'm getting a component by class, and that's called a respawn actor base. That's something that I created for this system. And I'm going to make sure that respawn actor base has a linked instance static mesh component. So what does it mean? Let's imagine that this fiber is going to swap to an actor. That actor that we spawn has that component on itself, respawn actor. And we want to know where the inactivity timer is up, or if the respawn timer is up, then we want to respawn it back. But we want to respawn it back in this complete PCG volume, which includes that instance static mesh. So we need to know which reference of which PCG volume, of which instance static mesh component we should be added back into. And therefore, when we spawn such a pickup item or just a normal actor, we get that component that has been assigned on that actor, and then we're going to say, hey, this is the linked instance static mesh component, and that is something that we're going to use to spawn it back again. And I also want to start an inactivity timer manual, so it cleans itself up again after an X amount of time. Spawn generic actor is just spawning an actor, that's it. And if we spawn it, then I want to add the tag swapped, because then we know, hey, did we already swap this before? And I have this function force update overlaps, which simply re-triggers it again if we swap it. So that's when we are already in the radius. So that was it for swapping it for an instance static mesh component. For the mesh component, it is basically the same. The transform, using the transform for spawn actor based on swapping data. However, we want to just destroy that actor, and since we are doing this on the server, we just set that component to replicate, destroy it, and then it will be destroyed on the client and on the server. Then we spawn it back, and if it spawns, then we're going to set the actor respawn settings to swappable mesh. What does it do? We get that respawn actor. We're going to start an inactivity timer, start inactivity time, respawn a static mesh, swapping on hits. And that is it did this if we hit it via a X or whatever, that we only want to swap it based on hit, and otherwise we want to swap it based on overlap. And I'm just seeing right now that I'm currently doing this inactivity time right here, and then I think I also did it here in this pickup item. I don't think this one is needed anymore. Because I'm doing that. From this one here. Yeah, so that's perfectly fine. Okay. So, it's good to know I'm doing this begin play on switches authority. All of these things are only being done on the server. So that's good to know. So this just swaps instance static meshes and static meshes to actors and gives it tags. That's about it. So how do we swap it back? Well, let's just get a pickup item as an example. Pickup item master, I think. Master. Okay, so this is a pickup master, and this pickup master is being spawned in the world, just like for that fern, etc. This one has a component on it right now, and it's called respawn actor pickup item. So if we open this one up, and we can also open up the parent of this one, the actor base, and also the abstract. Let me reconfigure it. The abstract first, then the base, and then the pickup item. So the abstract has an event, start, inactivity timer, execute on server, and has some variables, does respawn, respawn a static mesh, respawn with overlap activation, and start inactivity timer on begin play of the actor. Now, let's check out our code. Sorry if I'm going too fast, but I'm just trying to show you everything so you get the basic idea. So the respawn actor base, begin play, bind event destroyed, on destroyed, try respawn actor. On take damage, start inactivity timer. If we want to start the inactivity timer on begin play, just start it. So the inactivity timer, what does it do? When the inactivity is reached, then we are going to try and respawn an actor. And we're respawning it, and for the this is the direct respawn, and we're just respawning that actor. However, this component is not respawning the actor. This component is spawning a respawn actor. And that respawn actor is a placeholder. That's an empty actor in the world which only holds the respawn time. And that's so we can clean it up. And this try respawn actor function, it's become a bit more complex, but what it does is we get a location, we have some respawn settings, which actor to spawn. Well, that's actually the owner of this component, and like a pickup item or whatever. If we are going to respawn as a static mesh, if that's true, then we want to know, does it has a linked instance static mesh component? If that is valid, then we want to respawn it back to that. But also which static mesh to respawn. Now, just get the first component, static mesh component on the owning actor, and use that static mesh to respawn it back. However, we want to give the option, do you want to override the static mesh for if you have multiple static meshes in your component and just want to have the right one. And this respawn actor, that is going to spawn a respawn placeholder base. And this respawn placeholder base, this starts a timer, try respawn, when a respawn time is finished. So when a respawn time is finished, then we're going to check, are we respawning as a static mesh? If so, is it instant static mesh component? If so, now then we're going to respawn it back into the information to the linked instant static mesh component on and adding that instance. If it was just a static mesh, then we are spawning a static mesh actor, which I created a class and make it replicated with the mesh to spawn this mesh. And if we don't want to respawn it as static mesh, then we just want to respawn basically ourselves, so the actor to spawn. So that is what the respawn actor base component is doing. That's respawning that actor, specifically this actor. And that is going to respawn that instant static mesh. And we actually made a child of this respawn actor base. Why? Because in the child I overridden the function spawn respawn actor to make sure that the pickup item, this one, is chosen because I don't want to have this actor reference in this component right here, because otherwise I would need to make sure, oh, is the pickup item, spawn this one, if it's not, spawn that one. Now I'm just having one function with a lot of inputs, and I'm overriding that function by making a child of this component. And there I can just set, I want to know the inventory item of the owning actor, because that should be a pickup master, and use that inventory item to respawn. Yeah. Sorry for going way too quick. It's a lot. I spent about a week or two on this, dedicated with multiple people. It's still not 100% finished, but I hope this gives a core idea of how you can implement something like this. If you have questions, please let me know, and I hope you have a great day. Congrats, you have reached the end of this video. And of course, always feel free to reach out, for instance, in the comments below via Discord or mail. And don't forget to check out our website and Discord. I'm happy to talk to you there. Have a nice day. Bye.